Hey guys, my experience is not worth all the suffering in the world, and I can do something about it. Name: Cassy, age 20, country Liechtenstein. Pre-click core values: nothing. Pre-click belief slash troubles: nothing. Hello everybody, Cassy here, 20-year-old, crew member since August 16th, with a female testimony of how I was finally able to at least relate to this whole clicking stuff, and how I started valuing doing the right thing, connected with logic, doing good, or whatever you want to call it. Background information: the selfish route of clicking to logic never appealed to me, nor worked. I was in a pretty good spot to click actually. Apparently because my core value was very weak already. I came from a low self-esteem angle, and therefore always valued other people's well-being. Just for the wrong reasons, of course. Because logic is always number one. I regularly watched the documentaries about war, crimes, and violence, and more stuff, of people who have it worse than me, to remind myself how good I have it, and how fortunate I am to be able to be in this privileged position. I tried to connect positive emotions to logic, but it didn't really work. Oh no, I just couldn't care enough about logic, especially seeing how many people coming over and calling themselves clickers, but actually doing less than me. Wow, they gotta be fake clickers, for validation and stuff. Yeah. When the 24/7 Theme Crew stream stopped, I realized how people did not really care about spreading the mindset or the impact, which translated to me definitely not wanting to adopt that mindset. What the fuck, man? Because in my opinion, I was having more impact than all of these clickers, obviously for the wrong reasons. But at the end of the day, the food didn't care if it was made for selfish reasons from some. What? The food? So she was making food, but she still did more than all of them. What the fuck? Anyways, it was made for selfish reasons from everybody that hated doing it, from somebody that didn't like doing it, and obviously just one practical example. I was doing just slightly more than the clickers who came over to feel better about myself. Wow. I didn't see a difference between myself and a clicker, and except for that they call themselves clickers. The point is that almost everybody really had logic as their core. That nobody really had logic as their core value. They were still to a bigger or lesser degree slacking, except for a few. I never really understood what a fiend meant, and what I experienced in this environment felt as nothing worth or noble achieving to me. The problem is I ping to the bigger group that bullshits tut themselves. I didn't ping to the few that actually did something, because I thought they were just different. I had respect for them and thought that I would never be able to be like them. People here actually mentioned this to me quite often, that they had the feeling that I was looking down on myself. I always disagreed, because compared to the fake clickers, I had nothing to feel bad about at all. Compared to those who actually tried to make a difference, however, I obviously did. But I thought that I was trying, and I was learning to be more rational and to understand my action and emotions. But that wasn't enough. I have now realized that everybody actually can make a difference,
even if they're doubting your potential. If I have learned and grown so much here and started believing in myself, but before I still always needed a little push to make me do things myself and not rely on others. With the right mindset, you can do anything, no matter how much experience you have. Yeah, that's true. It is not about the experience, it's just a tool. What really matters if you want to make a difference or not. If you want to be a murderer or not. Oh no! The selfless click because...
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, blah 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 blah.
The selfless click, when the theme started talking about the more emotional, selfless click and about people dying, it got really close to me and I finally could relate to it. I understood what he meant with logic. I always knew that I was a hypocrite, that was just bullshitting myself. I even admitted openly that there was always room or optimization. I was just lazy. I always knew that people are dying. It wasn't about not having knowledge, not only dying, suffering, getting tortured, also just having a shitty life in general. I come from a very, very privileged family. I knew I could do more. I always pleaded my parents to do more, but without doing more myself though. What a hypocrite. Because I said it myself already being better than them. As I was vegan, I cared about animals, but I ignored my own species. What the fuck? What hit me was when a fiend mentioned gaming for good. He said gaming for good has so far not been as successful as it could have been. Not because it was a bad idea, but because of purpose too. No, but because people didn't care enough. And it's true. First he said it was the coders, and idiotic me obviously instantly thought, yeah, it was the coders, not me. I tried to feel better about myself, but no, it was the recruiters and everybody else, including me. Every single person was involved. Gaming for good could have raised millions, millions. We could have saved kids, literally. Children would not have died cruelly. Those children that you see in this video, about the bombings in Syria, I could have saved them. I cannot emphasize this enough. I was part of it, and I'm also the reason it failed, because I didn't care enough. No matter how much I backwards rationalized that I was working a lot back then, putting it into perspective, it wasn't at all. I could have done way more. I could have done it for the right reasons. If I had the right mindset, I could have done more. I would have made others do more, but I wanted to be lazy. My laziness cost lives. I'm a murderer. Yeah. Hearing a thing talking about this and binge watch videos and photos about these events made me realize that it's not about my experience. My experience is not worth all the suffering in the world. And I can do something about it. When I was younger, I wanted to make the world a better place. I wanted to do what's right. I wanted to help. But I got confused and gave up. Now I realize that the only thing that was stopping me from a lack of knowledge was a lack of knowledge. I didn't understand what I truly am, and I was subject to indoctrination and social conditioning that experience is way more valuable, but it's actually not. And then it was just this imaginary attachment that was holding me back from being able to make a big impact in the world. Here's some points that might help you realize it. Inform yourself about what's happening in the world, what's really happening, And I don't mean like the next episode of Big Brother or something shit like that. No. Realize I did that earlier already. That feeling worthless and being depressed is idiotic. Mental health is just a prank, bro. It makes no sense. If you're feeding the victim mindset, you are bullshitting yourself because actually you have a good life. Realize how good of life you have. Put it into perspective. Literally have this image of a dying kid of a dying kid in your head all the time. What? Literally have this image of a dying kid in your head all the time. Or piles of corpses in Auschwitz. Or a journalist getting beheaded by ISIS. Starving. People starving right now in Yemen. Whatever you want. There's an abundance of atrocities in the world you can choose from. No, it could hit you. Imagine it. And if you don't care about yourself, imagine it hits your mother or father, whoever you're closest to. But truly feel it. Truly see how much you would suffer and how unfair you would think the world is. If you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. I never really understood that sentence. I mean, I rationally understood it, but I didn't truly get it. Seeing how much luxury I own, I already knew this, despite living more minimalistically to make me feel a little less bad for it, and how much suffering it causes. Your expensive car needs oil. The oil is what killed Iraqis. They drive with bulldozers over their homes while people are sleeping in there. They have nowhere to go just because of oil and land and gold and other fucking pointless, useless, worthless goods. Because we privileged people want it and we don't care where it comes from. Yeah, fuck society. Fuck everything. As a side note, you don't dare saying, I donated to charity, I did my part. You can do more. You are in the best position to do so. You don't have to struggle for your own survival. You don't have to hide in the basement in fear of getting bumped to death. Realize that all these little things you do are only to feel better about yourself and not because you truly care. How many little things you might do is never enough. But I buy organic food, so I do my part. Not enough. I get palm oil, sustainable sources, from sustainable sources. Not enough. Even if you optimize all your consumption, you're still killing people because you are not doing anything against it. There is genocide, there is beheadings, there was in the past, and there is still right in this moment in Auschwitz. People were also just standing there watching, taking pictures and seeing people die. They just watched them die thinking, no worries, I'll share an emotion pic of a cute cat later. One like, one prayer. But first let me take a hashtag selfie of the gas chamber. And you are doing exactly the same thing. Also put your helping into perspective. Nowadays you don't have to risk your safety. Back in World War II you had to risk your life to help a Jew, but today you don't even have to sacrifice your own health. You don't have to risk your well-being. Heck, you don't even have to think about your own survival at all. If you truly make the jump to a selfish click and decide to come over and work with us, everything will be taken care of. You don't have to worry about having enough food to eat for yourself. If you decide to take care of others, others will take care of you. Most importantly, there is no forgetting this knowledge. There is no going back, no anymore. If you don't change now, more will die. It will haunt you for the rest of your life, and you deserve it. If you wish death upon innocence and don't care about the world, you deserve all the suffering and depression possible. closing force. This approach may be easier for girls, as they tend to have higher emotional intelligence. Wrong. At least for me it was the case, as described. But there's a caring part in every person. I believe that everybody is truly good in their core, or at least was at a certain point. I was never interested in science, and trust me, I'm still not, unless it's needed. You will not see me learn anything about quantum physics. Anything is probabilistic. I got that part, but about all the kinds of different atoms and shit, no thanks, no reason to do so. Logic is always number one, unless it particularly saves a life. So all this logic, wishy-washy, so I like to call it, because it didn't really emotionally explain anything to me from before, didn't make me connect to this mindset and truly understand. For me, it is very easy, true though, to feel for others. Mirror neurons. When I see something sad, I literally feel it and I almost start crying. Even when I don't see a picture, somebody describing it to me is enough. I don't want anybody to suffer, except these people. If you don't, everyone except like a theme maybe. I love the world. I love every single child, every adult. They are part of humanity, and I'm a part of humanity. People are dying, and I can do something about it. You can too. If anything is unclear, or you need further guidance, check out Reddit/Making Sense, or go to the Logic page or the Discord. Yeah. Thanks for watching.